setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge, and I'm glad that you joined me and we can have a nice talk this morning. Remember a few weeks ago, well, not just a few weeks ago, several months ago, I did a series podcast on starting a business, being an entrepreneur, and there was about 10 lectures that I gave. And one of the lectures was about knowing your demographics, knowing what is happening within groups of people, because it really does affect your business. So I found a really good article this morning that I'm going to share with you, and it's about the demographics and how the demographics is changing across the United States. And you need to know what's happening with demographics because you might have to just change your business model slightly to adapt to a new demographics. Remember, I said that demographics is one way to kind of gauge what's happening within your communities. So let's talk about it just a little bit about this article because I thought it was so good. So let's start with what nationwide the median household income is, okay? Because the word household is going to be key here as we look at this article. So the median income or the household income is $86,000 for married and cohabitating adults, but $61,000 for the unpartnered. Now, the unpartnered is what we're going to talk about today because we're going to see a change, okay? So, a growing proportion of the U.S. adults is living without a partner or spouse, according to a new analysis by the Pew Research. Now, I like Pew because they do an independent study. They don't have politics or anything else involved. They do a good study of what's happening out there in the United States. So the Pew Research came up with the sharpest increase coming from the under 35 crowd. About 42%, now this is a number, okay? About 42% of Americans are unpartnered today, compared to 39% in 2007. So the unpartnered numbers have grown. Affecting these numbers are the marriage rate, which has declined over the last several decades, and an increase in the rate in cohabitating relationships. So 29% over the last 10 years, though the latter hasn't been sizable enough to offset the former. So changes in unpartnership varied in demographic. For adults under 35, the share increased from 56 to 61 over the decade. It only rose from 29 to 30% for those at the ages of 35 to 54, and 29% to 32% for ages 55 to 64. For the 65 and over group, the share of adults living spouse and partner dipped slightly from 43% to 41%. It's surprising that the overall unpartnered share increased in the context of America's aging population. The report noted since older folks are more likely than younger ones to be married or partnered. But I listen, I'm 60 and I'm single. I live unpartnered. So I don't have I'm not the typical aged person where normally they're living together. I'm different than that. So let's go on. Meanwhile, women were more likely than men to be unpartners, 43% versus 40%. And Hispanic and black adults were more likely than white and Asian adults, 46% and 62% versus 37% each, respectively. So this phenomenon that we're looking at today of the changing in our demographics could hit bank accounts. Adjusted median household income for married or cohabitating adults is $86,000 per Pew, compared to $61,000 for the unpartnered or singles. and those in the mid-50s to early 60s, and also less likely than married people to have retirement savings. According to a 2016 Economic Policy Institute report, 65% of married couples in 2013 boasted retirement account savings, in contrast to between 42% and 43% of single women and men, respectively. So, as I said before, when these kinds of numbers change, it means that you need to change or tweak your business model. Because when you have demographics changing, you may be able to offer different services to this new unpartnered group of people. Those of you selling insurance or life insurance or health insurance, you can adjust your business model just slightly so that you're taking care of these individuals, because now you have to think in a different way. Your marketing strategy might change because demographics change. So as I said at the very beginning of these lectures that I've been giving, is that you have to look at your demographics. Anytime that you can get your hands on demographics, you read them and analyze them, think about it, because it will change your business model, especially if you're a startup. So I hope that kind of helped you today. If you have any questions, just send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com, and I'll try and help you out. But remember, when you're running a business, you have to constantly look at your demographics of the people that you are servicing, selling to, or providing products to. You always have to look at it. Because if you know what's happening and you know what's coming, then you know how to change your business model to make sure that it's a sound business model in years to come. So that's it for today. Remember, as I said before, running a small business means that you look at everything. So I hope this helped today. If you have any questions, just let me know and I will respond to you. Thank you, and I will talk with you soon.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
World of business and taxes.